Global Series. Finch here, joined by Taco one more time. Happy to have you here as always. We're taking a look at the Southeast Asia region today. And as we get into the back half of this split, man, it is more and more important. This is how you get your ticket to go to the placement stage and fight in that international competition.
And that's what this is all about, in fact, for the players. A lot of them just trying to make that pathway to Worlds happen even more so. And, of course, today we'll be journeying along with C as they try to make their Worlds dream become a reality.
That's right. Everybody trying to get to DreamHack right now. HRX going to be happening November 16th through 18th. So make sure that you do not miss the biggest event of the year. HIREZexpo.com is where you're going to want to go to grab those tickets. That way you can make sure that you're there to see all the action. Smite and Paladins, all right there.
I mean, I might have just covered it on the desk, but I say it again here just to be even more specific because you are not going to want to miss out on this after-party event. It's a lot of fun, always a great time after the event takes place. And if you didn't get a chance to say hey to everybody that you wanted to catch throughout the main event, I mean, that's understandable. It's stressful. There's a lot of action and chaos taking place then, but this will be your time to do it and get those last-minute hellos in.
That's absolutely right. Streamers, favorite personalities, players, coaches, everybody will be there. So you want to make sure that you're at that after-party. But don't worry, we're going to be getting right here into the action here in Southeast Asia, taking a look at Get On My Level, who look like, for the top card right now, I believe they have not dropped a set yet here in this fall split. They've had a little bit of time where they went without Get On My Level, the player, I think, but they should have them back here for today. So we'll see if they can keep all that momentum going up against LoyaL.
They just need the rest of the region to get on their level pretty much.
That's right.
But LoyaL, I think that this could be a really interesting matchup for these guys to try and step up to get on my level. They know how much of a challenge this is going to be. You're going up against an undefeated team here for Southeast Asia. Things could be relatively difficult here. And in fact, we're going to have some fairly interesting bans as well. A HIREZ. I think that's the first time we have seen a HIREZ in competitive bans in forever.
Yeah, going to mess up HIREZ' numbers a little bit there with that one from Get On My Level, as they are going to take him off the board. They are in that first pick position now, which means they have one they can try and throw away. They're worried about LoyaL picking up this HIREZ, taking off the board. Grab someone like Athena with all that rotation ability and the big taunt also onto your side.
With the Chernobog having been banned away by LoyaL, Get On My Level are just going to prioritize one of the best globals still left standing. And I like the Athena mostly because there's so much setup and follow-up that you can add onto this from the first pick selection choice. For LoyaL, it seems as though they're a bit more interested in getting their dual lane solidified between the Fafnir and Ullr. I like this, but Fafnir perhaps alluding to a double hunter composition.
I think so too. Their cards might kind of be face up on the table, at least in that respect. But who do they want to go with? Maybe it'd be worth trying to ban away a soul so they get some magic damage to go with that too. If that ends up making it through, we'll have to see later on. As Isis Rom comes through for Get On My Level. So a very strong hunter and a nice control mains that we don't see as much of nowadays, but I think that we've been seeing a little bit more lately. I like seeing her around.
Rom can struggle a little bit up against the Ullr, at least throughout the early portions of the laning phase, but as the match progresses, I'd imagine that Get On My Level is going to be able to at least provide some assistance. You've got that Defender of Olympus to provide some damage mitigation in case the Ullr tries to full commit to the Rom. And not only that, but Isis in the mid lane means that there's going to be map pressure to compensate for what might be a lack of in duo.
And it could give them a chance to maybe even fight around some of these objectives too, as LoyaL lock in that Agni, so maybe not going to be the double hunter. In fact, it is looking like that Ullr will be in the dual lane, as you've been alluding to this whole time. So we'll likely see Fafnir, Ullr over there kind of hanging out. As in the banning phase, a lot of junglers coming off the board. I consider Robin part of that, along with Odin and Hunbats. You see a lot of those three played in the jungle, especially Odin by Ice Baby, so Get On My Level, taking that off the board. But Kabrakan going to make it through for LoyaL.
Even Bellona, I think, has seen her fair share of jungle play thanks to homie Efe over there on CLG, but doesn't seem to be the case for Get On My Level. It'll be the Erlang Shen, and Erlang has been a really interesting god choice. He's got so much flexibility because you don't know if he's going to be solo or jungle right away, but with that AoV unlocked, actually, this could still be a bit of a toss-up here. It is Southeast Asia. I don't like calling gods into their normal roles.
See, look what happened.
We have seen plenty stretched about, but there's the Chiron for the double hunter composition we're waiting for.
And the Agni.
And I actually think that it's rather interesting that LoyaL are going to opt for two ability type hunters, because I don't think that Ullr and Chiron, they don't have to be solely ability-based hunters. You do have those in-hands that can be fairly impactful. But I like the cleanse that McTD is going to be able to utilize off of his training exercise, and I think that if the timing is right, then they can avoid a lot of that troublesome CC from Hikai.
Well, as we expected, it is going to be the Ullr in the solo lane. How else could it have gone, Taco? Would have been foolish to think that maybe it would be anything else, as Jimmy taking the Kabrakan into the jungle role. Assassin's Blessing and Blink all there and ready to go. And the Chiron in the dual lane. I have to imagine that this double hunter in particular with the 2 ability based has got to be based around this Heartseeker change that we've seen a little bit more of. We'll see if they end up picking up here and trying to strengthen up both the Ullr and the Chiron.
One thing's for sure, I want to see Maker and Hikai look for an invade right away. They have so much map pressure. McTD is already poked out fairly hard, and even Dark Artist took a decent chunk of his health away. And Maker making great use of those Astral Arrows early on.
Yeah, able to establish themselves some nice pressure here in the dual lane. That they haven't been able to quite translate that into buff and veins. We'll see how this next wave goes if they want to try and grab this one, Taco. But, I mean, so what are they expecting to get out of this Ullr? Are they expecting to have just a standard hunter, but just comes out ahead of everyone else and rotating over early? Is it to try and get pressure here? I mean, what's this about?
I'm trying to come up with a solution for you, Finch, and the answers, and I'll be honest, I'm a little bit speechless here, but domesu, it's just a troublesome matchup to begin with. The fact that Get On My Level gets the Erlang into this pick is such an ideal spot for Get On My Level because there's so much interrupt for the Ullr.
I feel like it's a good chance for them to have some pressure as Big TD Swag is indeed going to be able to get on up out of there and knock them out of the way. One of the stronger parts of that dash is that it does kind of have that dead kickback on it as well. Maker Love has to roll out of there to reposition, so they won't have much more aggression here.
Typically when we see God pick choices like Ullr and Solo, I think the original concept there is to just be as aggressive as possible. Like, it doesn't even matter if it's a little bit on the reckless side, because you're probably not going to see anyone for the first few minutes in solo lane. Junglers tend to spend most of their time looking for an early gank onto mid or duo, if anything. So for the solo lane Ullr, I think that domesu just needs to watch his positioning so that he doesn't take too much poke damage from Get On My Level. It's just avoiding the Mink Fatalis effect on top of the turtle knockup. It can be the most troublesome part because Ullr doesn't have any CC immunity, and whenever Ullr is in bow stance, that would be the prime period of time for Get On My Level to try and strike.
It absolutely would be, and he recognized that he's going to be under some pressure. He took minutes to start it off. Looks like those are forced out of him early on. They're just about to come off of cooldown as well. Whereas Get On My Level, the player, who is back here in the solo lane for them indeed, has not yet decided. So once he makes his back, he'll be able to teleport back in if that's his choice. Or maybe even go for a more aggressive relic, considering this matchup probably favors the Erlang by a good bit.
Definitely can see a Thorns or a Horrific Emblem in Get On My Level's future. And that's just the team as a whole, by the way, not just the player specifically. Although I think for a solo lane Erlang into the composition that LoyaL have opted for, a Thorns could definitely go a long way for him. But domesu should be fine now that he's approached level 4 and climbing upwards. He shouldn't have as many difficulties clearing out the wave. He also has that Hail of Arrows, Bloody Arrows, which is, I mean, that's one of the fastest ways possible to get those creeps out in your favor. But I want to keep an eye on Ullr and see how this plays out for LoyaL in the mid to late game, because Get On My Level aren't particularly tanky, so I can definitely see the potential behind this double hunter with the Agni for the damage, because it is a lot of damage if they can make it get online. It's just, will A-Bing destroy them for it, or are LoyaL going to be able to turn the tables on them?
Yeah, I think A-Bing could certainly pose some problems for them as Get On My Level completes. Get On My Level, the player, completes the Berserker shield on this Erlang, and he picks up the Blink, Taco. They don't have very much in terms of, like, team fight utility. You know, they don't have, like, shells, sprints, anything like that to try and help them out. The only place where they're behind is Dark Artist does have a shell available for him. But they have a ton of aggression. Being Get On My Level and Hikai all electing to go with these blinks to try and close that gap that much faster. If you're going to start this way, you better be looking for some picks soon.
Speaking of which, Hikai with a beautiful pull of McTD's purification beads there, and I think that's about all you can ask for from your Athena, especially since everyone's about to hit the level 5 mark. This could be a perfect time for a being to lurk inside of that dual lane jungle and look for the execution onto McTD. Unless he has that Chiron ultimate, I think it will be rather difficult for him to escape.
Yeah, it's going to cause some problems for him. We'll see what he do to try and get away. But he's in some trouble. They've left him alone over here. Dark Artist is rotated. And now McTD very, very low. One more auto for Maker Love to do it. He has the ultimate, but feels like he doesn't need it. They put him into his ultimate. If he could find a kill, it would reset, but he couldn't. Maker Love finds first blood onto McTD.
I almost wish McTD would have just kept moving forward, trying to juke here and there. I think he would have had a stronger chance of survival as opposed to slowing himself down intentionally and expending his ultimate.
Get on my level though, going in aggressively with that unique form onto domesu if he move over to the solo lane. Trying to see if maybe he can slow him down, but he does win out the poke trade, but there's no way that he can stick around. Instead, Loyal will defend their own red buff. AK alone probably didn't have much chance to steal anyway, and we'll head back to lane.
Get on my level is just waiting. Oh, hold that thought. The Bluefish underneath a lot of pressure here, and that's going to do it. Hokage Devil going to get the first blood credit onto that ISIS, but that was all off the back of Jimmy.
Indeed is going to be Hokage one day, and he's made it happen here already. Bogathoth finished off, able to find a nice kill there in the middle lane onto direct lane opponent Bluefish, who again is on this ISIS. Slowed him down a little bit. That should put Hokage Devil into a better spot.
I love that, by the way, out of Hikai. Don't let the Fafnir back. If they want to try and back in front of you, you make sure to aggress onto them. And speaking of aggression, Get on my level having no issues trying to challenge domesu.
But he's got to be careful with Jimmy nearby. He doesn't want to stick around. I don't think he recognized it, but axe off the mark. That's one you got to hit. Hail of arrows not going to land onto the Erlong either. And Get on my level very clearly makes it out of there.
Get on my level knew that they didn't really have anything else. Speaking of which, Maker's got that Astral Barrage here for McTD. Just needs... Nope, this is not going to be able to confirm it. He needed at least 2 of those shots.
It has at least hit the 3rd shot, but now maybe some turnaround potential. Masterful shot if it's available. Hammer's toss will be there. Forces out the beads rather from Maker Love. And he's got to try and run away now from this gigantic Fafnir who's barreling down at him. Has Draconic Corruption if he wanted, but it looks like Dark Artist doesn't want to commit.
Cripple Shot going to be off the mark, but so is the Hammer from Dark Artist. And now he'll be forced to use a little bit of a self-proc heal on himself, but McTD and Dark Artist both still sticking around here, and I can't help but wonder they're about to bite off a little bit more than they can chew.
Blink comes in from AK a little bit too late, does get the 2-man taunt. Shell comes out from Dark Artist, enough to keep them alive. But I still find it curious, once Maker Love had used the roll and the ultimate, you have a good chance to go into the Draconic Corruption and chase him down, I feel like, from the Fafnir.
Maybe he didn't have enough mana?
Maybe.
After he might have used too many cooldowns without watching his mana control. No, I'm pretty sure he had enough mana prior to that last hammer stun. It did feel like a bit of an awkward engagement, though, from Dark Artist. He hesitated, right. I think, was a problem. And Maker didn't have that rollout for a little bit longer. As soon as the rollout was expended, in fact, we should have seen the full commit from the Fafnir there, but maybe Dark Artist just not feeling as confident, wanting to play it safe rather than sorry.
Just wanted to make sure, didn't know where everyone was, and now Jimmy in a little bit of trouble. He finds, though, the 2-man stun to give himself some breathing room, but gets executed. There it is. The SS Quanger comes out from a Bing Love, able to come back to the ground with a nice execute.
And Dark Artist still hovering the area, but Hikai's going to make sure to get out of there, no problem, as Ice's Spirit Ball will be sent out, mostly for zoning potential there. I don't think Bluefish was really expecting to catch up Hokage or Dark Artist in it. It was just waiting for it.
Always love when we're able to see a nice outclong XU comes out of Bing. Should be in a good spot now as McTD in a little bit of trouble from McKay, who's been rather aggressive this game on this Athena. Able to find some nice setup for this team so far. We'll see if they can keep that going as maybe Dark Artist is his target. I don't know if he recognizes he's here. They're definitely not really acknowledging each other. Now it's going to head back to lane. Not much 2 Guardians can do against each other.
They can stare at each other, but no more staring for domesu. He's going to jump in and pretty much get sent right back out of there. Looks like Get on My Level intercepted him as he was running back up the lane.
Now that is a bit of a problem now. The Uller takes a spill, and the Erlong Shin will get some free time now to start farming, even looking for the proxies. Got to be careful, though, with Jimmy making his rotation as McTD is in some trouble as well on the left-hand side. Astral Barrage shot 1 off the mark, 2 hits. The 3rd one misses as well, but with Hikei coming over, he should certainly be dead to rights. He is going to hit him with that shield crash. Now looking for a chance to find a kill. Can't find it. And Ikei finds it. Back to Get on My Level, who falls to Hokage Devil.
Everything was just expended there, though. And now it's going to be Hikai trying to help out a Bing, but a Bing just gets blown up. It's way too much burst damage. The rotation from Hokage Devil just completely saving the lives of Loyal.
And this is a great exchange for Loyal. 3 for 1 overall. They do lose McTD's swag on the left-hand side to the Athena and Maker Love's aggression. Yes, but a huge swing for them on the right-hand side of the map. Now they're pulling the Pyromancer. Bluefish is on his way. He's certainly someone who can contest, but gotta be careful for Hokage Devil.
Look at Jimmy, though. Jimmy's just so incredibly low. Spear
Oh,
ball
good
is
turnaround!
good. And now Hokage Devil's left at 1 HP, but Bluefish can't find the last to connect.
The last bit of the wing gust couldn't hit. That means that LoyaL grabbed the Pyromancer and keep everyone alive. Very nearly turnaround there from Bluefish, who just showed his damage potential in full force, but not enough to answer back. LoyaL, even up against the undefeated, get on my level, looking strong here so far.
I can't help but wish that Bluefish would have committed just a little bit harder there.
Yes.
I think that he had that situation under control, even though he was by himself. Jimmy just took way too much damage throughout all the previous engagements, was already at like 20% health threshold when that fight started. But they will be able to at least pull Hokage's beads, which is important for a Bing. Now a Bing can make Hokage a little bit of a more direct target and maybe try to slow down some of the momentum that this Agni was starting to build up.
That definitely could be a big factor for them if they could slow down Hokage Devil, but the Gold Fury going the way and get on my level exacerbates what was already a problem. Even though LoyaL had won that fight and gotten the Pyromancer, they were down a good bit of gold. The Gold Fury makes that worse as McTD Swag is yet again in trouble up into the sky, pulls out the scope and finds all three. Maker Love puts McTD Swag into the ground. Now they want Dark Artist, who just turned into a pretty formidable dragon himself. But with 3 members nearby, he has got to run.
A Bing shouldn't die this, and I feel as though they're debating it. Get on my level. They still have all 3 of their members grouped up here, and Dark Artist doesn't have a CC immune ultimate anymore to ride out that execution.
Gets taunted back in and execute Threshold, and one more time, we are going to see the SS Quanger come out. Now, Jimmy is going to respond and take down Nikei, of course, on the back end is that Athena, but now the chance for a Bing Love to reposition and get back out of there on a very aggressive fight. This is what we knew we were going to see from Southeast Asia, and they do not disappoint.
A 2-for-1 exchange, though, is fairly worthwhile if we get on my level, considering that they did take down McTD yet again, and this Chiron is really starting to feel some of the repercussions of not getting much assistance throughout the early phase when Maker was bullying him pretty heavily.
It is starting to hurt quite a bit as Maker Love on the ROM has this early game and is strong, and I think Chiron is stronger now. He has some good itemization options out there. He's definitely not going to be like a ROM will be in this late game, so it really is not. It's really unfortunate that Maker Love was able to get this big lead over him if you're a LoyaL fan, because not only is he just behind, but he's going into a weaker power spike overall, I'd say, than a ROM late game.
And now as well, having just finished the Transcendence, 0 stacks, and we're already approaching the 13-minute mark. It's rather late to just now be finishing the Transcendence item, so that should give you guys back at home a little bit more of an idea about how delayed this has been as far as acquiring the gold necessary to even finish off his Transcendence.
A full Iqbal behind right now, and no lifesteal to speak of either, so there's just no way he'll be able to trade. I understand that Chiron has some self-sustain in the kit, yes, but not going to be able to match up with a very nearly fully stacked Devourer's Gauntlet. As domesu having a hard time landing these axes.
I want to see get on my level play more aggressive.
Yeah, why is he running?
He's got a 2-level lead
Mid-Guardian.
and just choosing to retreat back from domesu, maybe because of how aggressive domesu was just recklessly charging at the Erlang. Might have been suspecting that he was getting ganked right away, and I can understand that. Whenever you see somebody running at you and you're the one with a 2-level advantage and arguably a counter matchup into them, you don't expect them to just keep charging at you with no regard to anything else.
Yeah, something must be going on. Why is this man running me down? I'm 2 levels up. I got Mid-Guardian and Berserkers already. You definitely don't want this fight, but apparently domesu didn't. For some reason, get on my level was a little bit cautious about it, but either way, get on my level of the team that's out in front right now, at least in terms of goals. We did have a brief pause coming in just now and get everything sorted out for those players and get you back into the action right here, right now. Taco, we might not even have a chance. Aggression in the mid lane, but it's Hikeiyu who's been locked down by the tectonic shift. They did drop Circle of Protection on top, so Hikei's out!
And now Hokage's going to actually be the one to take a spill first of all. LoyaL now, their T1 tower quickly dissipating from the damage out of Maker and Bluefish, but they're not going to be able to find it at the last second. Maker still gets hit. Masterful shot's going to find him!
Masterful shot coming out from McTD Swag on the back end of it. Who could expect anything less? Bluefish, though, just barely alive, is going to be able to make it back to the bottom end of that Tier 1 tower. And now a chance for LoyaL to try and re-aggress. They defend their Tier 1 and force get on my level back.
McTD has been waiting all game for a chance to punish Maker. Maker has been cyberbullying McTD throughout the laning phase, but you gotta admit, those Chiron snipes were pretty impressive. That was some extended long range all the way down the mid lane to find him.
It does definitely find him with what felt like nearly the max range, and then of course masterful shot. One of the toughest abilities to make sure you hit. It does go through. He did have to time it to make sure it was on the back end of Aegis duration though, so he did get him as soon as Maker Love was available to be hit, and that's enough to get the kill.
Have to appreciate the counter engage though from LoyaL. Despite having lost Hokage Devil in the backline there, it didn't really deter LoyaL from still sticking to try and defend their T1 tower. They recognized that Maker and Bluefish were the ones tanking it, and actually hold that thought Hikari could run into a little bit of trouble here.
Maybe not if Jimmy can't find a way to land that stun. McTD Swag goes into the ultimate very early just for damage and turns towards Maker Love, but it's Jimmy who's in trouble and needs a little bit of help. Now McTD Swag is in trouble too. Maker Love finds a kill. Dark Artist now has got to start running for his life, but Get On My Level with the blink. Taunts there too. Double kill for Maker Love, and a chance for the triple as Get On My Level takes down domesu.
Oh no, Finch. Wave's already approaching, but I think Get On My Level have the Fire Giant in mind instead. They're gonna leave a Bing in the mid lane. Okay, Maker might just be looking. Maker's gonna be the one looking to push the T2 tower by himself. Now they got creep waves. Hokage though looking to intercept. He's gonna get some nice damage spread onto the ROM. I don't think Maker realizes he's right behind him.
And Maker Love gets punished for it. Hokage Devil, a great job catching out Maker Love alone in the dual lane to save the tier 2 tower and find a kill. But he cannot defend the Fire Giant. Get On My Level, at least claim that on the back end, and the Pyromancer.
I'm surprised that Maker didn't try to roll out of there sooner. As soon as you see the first bomb AoE surrounding you, that's usually your sign to retreat. But Hokage making sure to punish Maker for the greed. That was just greedy from Get On My Level. They didn't need to have Maker by himself, and arguably, Maker should have never gone for the T2 tower by himself.
And he doesn't. I'm getting punished for it. I believe they even had a ward there. It's very close. I'm surprised he didn't have the information Hokage Devil was there, but perhaps that was just placed afterwards. But either way, he does indeed end up getting punished for it. Get On My Level backing in the face of Jimmy. And in the face of domesu. There comes out the stun this time. The turnaround's good. Tectonic Shift comes out for damage, but he misses the knockup, but Jimmy drops the tremors anyway. So no harm, no foul.
I almost feel like if that had been a Mink form, we might have seen Get On My Level successfully find the kill onto Jimmy in the 1v2 here.
Yeah.
And even domesu can't feel all that comfortable being left alone now with Get On My Level. If he steps up just a little bit too far, especially if they're having just used the Axe Stun, I don't think there's much chance of domesu running away from Get On My Level here.
No, not at all. As Gold Fury now being locked down by Get On My Level. Take a look at this, though, for the player Get On My Level. Phantom coming out. I mean, this has got to be full-on in response to the Kabrakan and this Tectonic Shift and making sure they give respect to it. Because I think that's what made that Tier 1 tower dive so hard, was a KU getting caught in by those walls.
And I like it. It shows the adjustments throughout the match. We discussed earlier about maybe wanting to see Thorns for Get On My Level because of the double hunter composition out of LoyaL, but since they are ability-based hunters, I have no faults or concerns about this Phantom pickup. If anything, it just shows Get On My Level recognizing what's giving them issues in a game and then immediately adjusting for it.
Dark Artist taunted back into the stun coming out from Bluefish. They should be able to get this Tier 2 tower now, Taco, without too much trouble on the side to Get On My Level. And they still have plenty more gold to go farm. The Tier 2 still remaining in mid and solo, along with the Tier 1 over there as well. Plenty more farm to go grab for this next minute and 40+ seconds.
And Get On My Level just making sure to push out the next creep wave so that way those minions can stay fairly high up in their favor on that left-hand side. I think what Get On My Level are going to be looking for here is maybe a Phoenix Siege in mid, possibly even just taking down the T2 tower. Oh, hold that thought though, because Dark Artist is just getting full-on collapsed on right now.
Gets knocked up as well in Execute Threshold, and the Bing finds him with no trouble at all. Gonna bring out the ship and look for somewhere to re-engage. The Tier 2 tower is already down. They can dive back in if they want to, and that's going to be the call. A Bing does go in. He doesn't follow with the K, though, who finds a taunt and forces the beads out from Hokage.
Perfect job by Hikari as well to catch the dash from Hokage. That was the main reason why the beads came out in the first place. He was expecting a Bing, I think, to look for the follow-up since Hikari caught him off guard with interrupting that escape there. But I like it. Get On My Level just like that. Managed to take down the mid Phoenix under little to no pressure, I would say.
And at one point, this was a relatively close game We talked about a 2,000 gold lead for Get On My Level, but that is just a distant memory. 10,000 gold out in front, 8,000 experience, a mid Phoenix down, only the tier 2 remaining in solo now. Get On My Level are very comfortably in control here.
Finch, domesu has to be the most bold Uller I have ever seen. To be willing to charge against an AO who's in the late game period. I'm surprised that we don't see a Bing just full on commit there.
I'm also very surprised. I feel like this Uller has been getting away with unfettered aggression all game long for the most part. He is very much behind, but surprised he hasn't been killed more often, as this tier 2 tower will be shredded through much like tissue paper.
I like Maker from over the wall trying to get those Astral arrows to attack the tower until he's actually in the area. But now Get On My Level could be in a little bit of trouble here. Masterful shot gonna slow him down for the moment, but with that Defender of Olympus being applied, no chance that LoyaL are gonna be comfortable pushing out any further.
No, not at all. Spirit Ball almost finds domesu. I thought that was right on the money there from Bluefish, but unfortunately not quite able to land it. But Fire Giant had fallen off about half a minute ago anyway. They can come back and be ready for this next Fire Giant and then look for the Phoenix Siege with fire minions there to help out in the mid lane as well. But look at this, a bit of a bait from Get On My Level. He's waiting for them to come too far forward. Blink over the wall, taunts there. Dark Artist does want to try and control, but the damage might be too good.
Get On My Level now has a turtle form away, but will get a nice heal out of that ultimate from the Erlang. Astral Barrage wasn't able to find any executions either, and LoyaL still sitting rather healthy here, but Get On My Level, they're just trying to bait everyone into this Fire Giant pit. They still want to fight.
They absolutely do. Taunt in, finds 2, and then Circle of Protection right on top of him, but it's Akei who pops first. Hokage Devil able to find him without too much trouble.
Maker gets some great poke damage there against Dark Artist, but I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference just yet. In fact, a Bing still looking to pull the Pyromancer by himself. Would like to see Maker give him a little bit of assistance there just so they could take it down slightly faster.
Yeah, Bing not going to be able to actually confirm the Pyromancer, so instead he has to back to base. That leaves Maker here by himself, and he's not even going to start it up. It will reset, and now LoyaL are the ones with more members, healthier health bars. They're here in full force, but I don't think they have the information that they control this space right now.
They have no idea that everybody from Get On My Level was backed outside of Maker. That would have been a prime time for LoyaL to look to collapse on the ROM and find the pick there. But unfortunately, without the vision that we have, Finch, there's no way for LoyaL to have any idea about what just took place. And now Get On My Level looking like they're going to be able to collect this second Fire Giant, no problem here.
Yeah, and they've got quite a few deep wards, Taco. 2 right up there between where the tier 2 tower would come into the jungle. 1 a little bit further back as well, right where those pings are. So they definitely have vision to Get On My Level if they want to start up this Fire Giant. But looks like they're not still fully grouped yet. They're waiting on Akei to make the rotation. He's busy dealing with McTD Swag on the left-hand side.
Hikai has that Defender of Olympus, and because he has the global ultimate, he can afford to prevent McTD from pushing out that left lane as far as they would like, because what we're probably going to expect to see here is Get On My Level. They've already got creep pressure in mid lane, and that Phoenix is just about to respawn. So it would be best for Get On My Level to attack the mid lane relentlessly until they claim this Firebird again. And thanks to Hikai, they'll have the creep waves as well from left, so they can immediately go from mid lane over to the left-hand side and just try to siege both those Phoenixes back to back.
Bluefish kept the wave pushed up on the right-hand side. And now instead is going to come group up with them in the mid. This mid Phoenix is very weak. Get On My Level blinks. 2-man taunt in. Spirit Ball doesn't quite land, but he has Defender of Olympus for a bunch of extra damage. domesu's already used the Aegis. Taunted back in, managed to get away from that, but not from the execute. Maker Love doesn't even need it. domesu is put back to base.
Maker, though, or a Bing, excuse me, he's not going to be able to get on out of there. Nice stun out of Dark Artist. Going to make sure that the Titan takes one last swing onto a Bing.
Now they'll move to the right side. Phoenix Dark Artist does land a nice stun. Jimmy there to keep the CC chain going. And McTD has quite a bit of damage, but Akei's been able to reposition, and now it's Dark Artist who's in trouble. 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish puts him down on the right-hand side. But they can't group up to push into the Phoenix yet. They still need more minions.
Well, with 2 members dead from LoyaL, this is going to be rather difficult to try and defend here. Jimmy, Hokage, and McTweety can do a little bit of damage here, but it's still slightly problematic knowing that Hokage doesn't have those relics any longer.
TD is in the ultimate and won't have that extra bit of safety later on if he needs it, but that's good damage on the Bluefish between the bombs and the masterful shot. He'll have to be careful on the backhand side, as despite Get On My Level's exorbitant lead, they're having a lot of trouble in the 5-on-5 Phoenix push. Not even 5-on-5. They killed Dark Artist very early on, but they can't find a way to break the base and get in relevant structure damage.
They just need to find Hokage on the backside. He still has his relics, in fact. Thought that he might have been forced out of purification beads, but believe it was a training exercise cleanse instead that managed to free up Hokage here. And I think that's what's causing, again, on my level, so many issues, is that they're going just a little bit too deep before the waves have a chance to actually push into the Phoenix. So they're the ones tanking up the Phoenixes. And not only that, but sending a Bing and Hikai so deep into the backline leaves Bluefish and Maker a little bit too vulnerable for Get On My Level to be the one to solely try and peel for them.
Yeah, they committed a little bit too much into the Titan room when they took down the weakened mid lane Phoenix. And from that point on, they were working with like lower health bars and cooldowns than they needed. So he's got to regroup, play a little bit slower. But you're 100% right to point out Hokage double 5-1 and 2. Top of the player damage charts as well right now. Despite the struggles for LoyaL, Hokage has been playing very, very well for them so far.
And this is also an Agni stream right here.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to get relatively close. Even the Isis ultimate, if you want to use the protections and the heal as well, it's going to be problematic because you have those Agni bombs. I kind of want to see Hokage pick up a Divine here because I think a Divine Rune would really just destroy Get On My Level sustain.
It absolutely would. Right now, Hokage feels like the defining range, the controlling range is going his way in the matchup. So we'll see if he could be able to be the one that sets that marker. As Bluefish actually caught inside the tower. Looks like they might be a bit of a problem here for Get On My Level, as I imagine that was not the idea there from Bluefish. And yeah, the rest of Get On My Level are going to back out and pause, try and make sure they get everything taken care of there on that side.
That's a little awkward for Get On My Level.
Unfortunate,
but
yeah.
Talking about what happens after the fact, though, with Bluefish having unfortunately disconnected there, the timing is what really messes up Get On My Level for this one. They're going to have to wait out, I think, a little bit longer. I don't think that they're going to be able to look at this left side Phoenix Siege any longer now that their Isis has fallen, unless they find a miraculous kind of pick within the next 10 seconds or so that could even things up a little bit. But it's just Hokage is so difficult to try and lock down. There's a lot of appeal for an Agni. Agni as well, probably one of the better mages to try and deal with an AO because of the fact that you have so much bomb burst damage you can drop on top of yourself and the stuns, as well as the flame path to dash away really quickly.
Right.
So I think that's what's really making a Bing just struggle a little bit more so than usual. But until he finds Hokage Devil in the backside, it's going to be mostly just those Agni Bombs continuously raining down on top of Get On My Level every single time they look to try and get those creep waves pushed in.
They have at least gotten the beads now from domesu, as he was forced to jump out. It looks like Bluefish might still be having some troubles. We'll see once it gets back in. At this point, likely, though, all the time has been expended, so we'll see if they can get that sorted out. As Pyromancer should very well be going the way of Get On My Level, but LoyaL may have a bit of an opportunity here to try and capitalize and make some plays to get back into this. Hokage has kind of bought them this time, earned them this ticket to try and capitalize.
And the Fire Giant as well, right about to respawn. So these guys have already had to miss out on the opportunity of sieging the left-hand Phoenix. The mid-Phoenix as well is back up and running again for LoyaL. They just keep bringing this Firebird back to life, and it is causing so many different problems for Get On My Level because now, since they've got to worry about re-sieging the mid-lane Phoenix, I don't have the same pressure as before when they were looking at the other side lanes to try and secure those Phoenixes because there's no fire creeps anymore. That's the main threat with taking out a Phoenix, or also the backdooring possibilities. I think that Get On My Level have a very strong dropship composition where they could just drop that circle of protections right on top of the Titan and then look to burst it down. There's just no openings, though, as long as those Phoenixes are standing.
It's going to be the call here, trying to find a way to get back in and break down those structures here for Get On My Level, but now they're kind of forced into a spot where they have to bide their time for a little while longer. So we'll see if they can slow down, but this is good for a composition with 2 hunters on it and that Agni is controlling so much space. Time is really one of the more valuable resources for them. They just need time to get these items online to make sure these hunters are swinging the way they want. They've both built, though, relatively ability-based. I know they are both ability-based hunters, but not much attack speed to speak of, not much shred to speak of. They should be still able to burn through these structures, but both doing it from kind of an ability-based standpoint.
And the guy's going to be there for a hot minute, I think, on that left side Phoenix.
Oh, yeah,
if
that's
he has
not
any
happening.
intention to split push Athena, I think he could pretty much kiss those right out the window. Speaking of which, Loyal not even looking to hesitate. They're looking to just confirm this Fire Giant's already down to about 30% health, and there's just nothing that Abing and Get On My Level really feel all that comfortable with pushing in there. You could see that they recognize it's being burned rather quickly because of those double hunters. I'm just not sure that they're actually going to try to contest.
I think that if you're loyal, you should keep going with this. I mean, this is their opportunity, this is their window, right? Where it looks like they've got a chance to try and burn this down, so they absolutely need to go for it in this spot. And if you're Get On My Level, I mean, can you afford to try and make the Phoenix defense, or should you try and get in and make this Fire Giant fight? I think they have a chance to contest, but it looks like it does go the way of Loyal either way. All 5 members carrying the Fire Giant, and now a chance for them to push down that right-hand side.
They have managed to get Bluefish back into the match, however, and I think this is their best chance right now. If Bluefish's connection can stay stable for just a little bit longer, they might be able to ward off Loyal from the right side Phoenix. We've seen how strong Loyal's defenses have been, but now it's time for Get On My Level.
Loyal moving in, and they are burning the Phoenix down very quickly. Right side Phoenix goes down for the first time this game. Maker Love in some trouble, and so is Bluefish. Angus keeps him alive, he gets the heal off, but McTD Swag finds a Bing, and Bluefish double kill coming out for the Chiron Hunter. For Loyal now 4v3, they can keep on pushing.
And domesu has full intentions of
Nice
staying
stun.
pushing. Coerce is going to be applied to everybody now for Loyal, and they are all looking for Hikai. Don't waste your time chasing this Athena around.
They are able to find the kill eventually, though they did turn around for a moment. 4 members now for Loyal, up against only Maker Love and Get On My Level. Now it's Loyal with a chance to force their way into the Titan room. They've got Get On My Level low. He finds a nice knock-up and is able to reposition, but Loyal in position now to take this game away from Get On My Level. Maker Love finds Dark Artist, forces them back out. Double kill for Maker Love. Get On My Level finds one as well. Not yet, Loyal. Triple for Maker Love, and he sends them packing.
Get On My Level aren't willing to go down that easily, Finch, and despite all their DC issues throughout this match, Maker Love coming up clutch when it matters most.
Able to find all the shots necessary. Loyal, I think, a little bit too split on how they wanted to burn down that Titan. It looked like maybe they were also putting too much damage in to find kills. In that situation, you need to all in on getting the objective or all in on trying to find those kills. Waffling in between gives plenty of time for Maker Love just to sit on those autos.
I think that Get On My Level are going to maybe make a Hail Mary attempt here at trying to reconfirm this mid lane Phoenix.
Sure.
Just so things are even on both sides. The Titan is so incredibly low for Get On My Level. They don't really have much of a choice other than to try and push in here.
They are going to taunt Jimmy back in. That does force out the Purification Beast. Looking for the knock-up too, but not going to find that there. But plenty of room for Maker Love to burn down this Phoenix. And now Get On My Level needs to get out of dodge. They have a chance to reposition, but Taco, think about it from Loyal. If they had had a little bit more success earlier on, 3 towers still up on the map for Get On My Level, they might have been able to grab that Titan.
Oh, the Titan would have definitely fallen there had it not been for all the remaining structures still in Get On My Level's favor. And there's just nothing you can really do about that. From Loyal's standpoint, their best call in that moment was to look to end the game. Considering how dominant this match has felt from Get On My Level's perspective, the fact that Loyal are even in position right now to try and make this turnaround play happen is huge. And speaking of which, Maker gotta try and stay alive here just a little bit longer.
He went with the early drop down, has avoided the last 2 shots. Masterful shot might be enough. It is. McTD Swag finds Maker Love, the hero from the defense. Execute's gonna come out from a Bing though. He's gonna find one and take him up into the boat. AK has to retreat. Hokage low, and a Bing finds the double kill to keep Get On My Level in it.
A Bing just saved his mid laner's life, in fact, and now he's looking to wrap around onto Jimmy, and domesu's got to keep an eye out here for Get On My Level as well. 2 squishy hunters looking like prime targets for this AO.
They are going to lock down domesu. Not much he can do. Aegis keeps him alive for the moment. In fact, he's even able to get the leap off and get away from Get On My Level. Stun won't find a target, but a Bing with the wraparound finds another kill. Killing spree in this engagement alone for the Ao Kwang.
This is a Chiron with no dash. A Bing, don't waste your moment. He's got to push push in here, and now McTD Swag already forced out of the Aegis. That's going to be the confirmation on the back end, as Jimmy will manage to kill Bluefish in the process. But Maker is respawning in 5 seconds or less. Mid Phoenix has already been confirmed. I think this might be it here for Get On My Level. A Bing is already pushing in as well with a fresh new fire wave.
Dark Artist is the only one that's up to the chance to try and defend. He does have Draconic Corruption, which can be a pretty powerful tool, and a Bing is here alone for now. Now Hokage has shown up as well. No chance, it would seem, for Get On My Level to push in an opportunity that they couldn't quite capitalize on, but now they can regroup. Fire Giant back up in 20 seconds to grab that objective for themselves, and only 2 Phoenixes to try and burn down, especially with Maker Love back with them. They still have a window.
What a crazy recovery, though, for Get On My Level. From nearly losing their Titan and the match outright, to finding the mid lane Phoenix, finding the success in the team fights, despite how early on they lost Maker. The turnaround from one Athena ultimate is what really amazes me. You can never forget about Hikai's rotational speed, because the second that he came into the mix, that was LoyaL getting choke pointed at that T2 tower there in the left-hand side. And now, Get On My Level, with everything back in order, probably going to be looking to confirm this Fire Giant and then maybe for a team fight right after.
And now they've got that right side Phoenix back up as well, so they can start getting their Titan to heal back up. That whole time, the Titan was still relatively vulnerable as Get On My Level start to burn the big-time jungle boss rather quickly. Get On My Level going to secure it with no problem. 3-1 so far in this game. Only one being able to secure by LoyaL during that time with the DC. But everybody's swinging at full force, especially a Bing. I know Maker Love got that big defense, but when in the team fight, especially outside the Phoenix, when a Bing has room to operate, he is the most deadly person in this game.
When a Bing has time to operate as well, McTD and domesu pretty much don't even exist. AO is just so incredibly strong against both these hunters at this stage that LoyaL can't really afford to leave either of them alone.
They're going to go for the mid-side Phoenix once it respawns. Get On My Level is already inside the Phoenix range to make sure there's space. Maker Love now shows up and makes quick work of the Phoenix, and LoyaL will have to defend elsewhere. They barely even get a chance to show presence.
I like this, though, from Get On My Level. That left side Phoenix clearly cursed. Let's take our chances on the opposite end of things, even though it's the Firebird closest to the Fire Giant, since they've already removed the mid Phoenix. It's not as worrisome here for Get On My Level, because LoyaL will still struggle to have defenses here, considering that they have to worry about these fireways pushing into their base.
That's going to be the call. Right side Phoenix one more time, and domesu and McTD Swag are going to have to put in a ton of work as Get On My Level blinks in. Force out the BH from domesu early on, but Defender of Olympus is there on Get On My Level as well. A nice heal keeps him topped off, and they can keep pushing. Circle of protection, mostly for the heal, as no one's on it for damage, as a Bing finds McTD Swag early on.
I love this from Get On My Level as well, just playing zone factor here inside of LoyaL's own base, because McTD's, because Hikai and Get On My Level were so deep into LoyaL's backline, that forces Hokage to push out, and Jimmy, he's the one that was looking to play defense there for them. Speaking of which, Jimmy not going to even be a factor in this match any longer, because a Bing's going to make sure to take him right out, and a Bing with a double kill off the execution to Dark Artist.
And a triple kill, dunks into the fountain and finds domesu as well. Wants to try and find the Quadra, but Hokage going to expend everything to make sure it doesn't happen. Game number 1 going the way of Get On My Level over LoyaL, despite a scare there in the middle.
A little bit of hiccups here and there as well from Get On My Level, not factoring in those DC, so I do want to see them clean it up around the edges a little bit, but for the most part, a really strong bounce back recovery moment there. LoyaL had just taken the Fire Giant, they sieged the right side Phoenix, and had it not been for that triple kill play out of Maker, I think we saw the ending to this match 10 minutes ago, Finch.
It was so close to being able to clean that one off. I think the problem was just that they weren't able to burn the Titan down fast enough. But LoyaL, they recognized where their opportunity was, and they absolutely grabbed it on that last siege, trying to find a way to force down the Titan. But Maker Love, as he did all game, was able to find his opportunity to get the defense. It was right here, I believe. Just him and Get On My Level, the game in their grasp, and they're able to force him back.
And it was just incredible as well. Get On My Level, of course, we do have to credit him too.
Absolutely.
For absorbing so much on the early Shen there at the end. but I still just stand by it. I think that the Uller solo, I didn't really see much of a benefit out of it.
No, not really.
I think once the team fights started breaking out, the only real reason we ever saw domesu have a chance to shine was off the back of Bluefish disconnecting frequently. So I think I'd rather see him opt for a pick that he can either provide peel or interrupt.
Should I meet her? Yes, I think you oughta. The needle dropped. My track was hot. We began to rock. Our eyes were locked. I love your fire.